Aid agencies have urged the international community to send much-needed funding to Afghanistan after a major earthquake killed at least 1,400 people and injured thousands more. Only a handful of countries have committed money since the 6.0 magnitude quake struck several mountainous provinces, leaving villages trapped under rubble. The European Union and the United Kingdom are donating $1 million each to help, with the cash going to aid organisations and sidestepping the Taliban government, which they do not recognise. Australia and South Korea have also donated $1 million each. Taliban authorities have appealed for international help despite deep aid cuts that have befallen the government. International funding to Afghanistan has fallen dramatically since the Taliban took over, with only 28% of the humanitarian funding target met this year. Without aid, rescue teams have struggled to reach affected communities in the rugged Kunar region, where roads are blocked by landslides and rockfalls. The earthquake is the third major quake since the Taliban seized power in 2021 and the latest crisis to beset the country. Afghanistan is reeling from deep cuts to aid funding, a weak economy, and millions of people forcibly returned from Iran and Pakistan. The vice president of the American Humane Society visited the Rex Dog Shelter Foundation in Budapest to sign a cooperation agreement with the Hungarian government and the Our Common Causes Animal Protection Foundation. The nearly 150-year-old American NGO is involved in the rescue, care and protection of animals worldwide. Its international branch, the Global Humane Society, issues animal welfare certificates for zoos, agriculture, tourism and the film industry. The Hungarian government's Commissioner for Animal Protection said the agreement showed that Hungary's progress in animal protection was internationally recognised. The Vice President stressed that protecting animal welfare is a fundamental social and moral obligation.
In terms of the cooperation agreement, to me this is the first step in terms of what we could do between Global Human Society and all the different stakeholders and partners within Hungary, whether it be zoos, aquariums, whether it be the farm production sector, whether it be film studios and TV studios, and so on.
According to the organisation, the cooperation agreement offers Hungary an opportunity not only to follow but also to shape changes in animal protection in Europe.
A szervezet mintegy 1,5 milliárd állatnak segít, állat jólétét támogatja évente. Ez elképesztő mennyiségű tapasztalat, mind haszonállatok, mind társállatok, mind pedig vadon élő állatok terén, hiszen természetvédelmi kezdeményezéseik is vannak.
The Global Humane Society is active in almost 60 countries. In the coming years, it hopes to share its expertise through new partnerships within the European Union.
The European Commission has launched the ratification process for the trade agreement with the Mercosur countries, including Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay and Uruguay. In order to address concerns raised by some member states like France, as well as European farmers, the Commission is proposing the inclusion of safeguard clauses.
Should the market disruption occur, the proposed 6.3 billion euros of a unity safety net under the next multi-annual financial framework stands ready to support the agricultural sector. In addition, the Commission is proposing to supplement the agreement with a legal act to operationalise the bilateral safeguard mechanism in our agreement with Mercosur.
Specifically, the Commission plans to monitor imports of sensitive agricultural products such as beef, sugar and poultry, and will report on them every 6 months. If market disturbances are observed in a member country, the Commission will have about 20 days to react. Investigations may be launched in the event of a sudden increase in imports or a fall in the price of sensitive agricultural products in the EU. The bar is set at 10%. However, an expert told Euronews that the agricultural sector remains skeptical about the effectiveness of the proposed safeguard clauses.
Le débat aujourd'hui s'est focalisé sur les clauses de sauvegarde en cas de perturbation des marchés, mais sur le cœur du problème, qui est le différentiel dans les pratiques de production entre ce qui se fait en Amérique latine et ce qui se fait au sein de l'Union européenne, où on a des exigences extrêmement fortes à l'égard des producteurs agricoles, là, ce sujet n'est pas traité.
The agreement now awaits a vote in the European Parliament and must be approved by a qualified majority of member states. Historically, France, Poland and Italy have opposed the deal, but growing pressure from US tariffs could prompt them to reconsider their position.
Hot mics captured what appeared to be a private conversation between Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping discussing the prospects for immortality. The pair were seen speaking as they walked through the historic Tiananmen Square in Beijing on Wednesday while attending China's World War II Victory Day military parade. Footage distributed by Chinese state media showed the two leaders speaking via translators, musing over the possibility of living forever. President Xi responded to Putin's remarks, noting that humans may live up to 150 years old as soon as within this century, citing progress in biotechnology.
The full story of the nurse who wrote the names of the fallen in Normandy. An image is circulating widely on social media claiming to show an Allied Forces World War II nurse taking the names of soldiers who died during the D-Day landings in Normandy in France. The picture is typically shared with captions saying that the men were buried in makeshift graves on Omaha Beach before proper cemeteries were built, and that nurse Clara Thompson wrote down the names of each soldier that she tended to. Her notebook was supposedly found decades later in her daughter's attic. The images appeared all over Facebook and X, but the story has been fabricated, with the picture having the hallmarks of being AI generated. The Allies established 8 military cemeteries within 4 days of the D-Day landings on the 6th of June 1944, with the first American and British nurses arriving on the 10th and 12th of June respectively. In the picture, the alleged nurse is not wearing an accurate uniform. Official archives show that army nurses serving in Normandy wore much different attire to what is depicted here. More than 4,000 Allied soldiers died on D-Day, with the landings eventually leading to the liberation of France and subsequently the rest of Europe. It ultimately paved the way to an Allied victory against Nazi Germany, which surrendered in May 1945. For more investigations and fact checks, head to our website euronews.com.
Where in the European Union is culture valued the most? 79% of respondents across Europe say that culture is important to them personally, an increase of 2% compared to the previous survey in 2007. That's what the most recent Eurobarometer survey shows. The highest scores are found in Luxembourg, Cyprus and Italy. The lowest are Romania, Austria and Germany. But culture isn't just personal. For more than 8 out of 10 Europeans, culture and the arts are important for the welfare and economic development of the place they live. Again, Luxembourg, Portugal and Italy lead the way, while Bulgaria and Austria record the lowest levels. Nearly half of Europeans engaged in artistic activities in the year before the survey, with dancing and singing as top activities. The survey was conducted between February and March 2025 with over 26,000 respondents across EU member states and social and demographic groups. Its findings feed into the Culture Compass for Europe, the Commission's strategy for cultural policy, expected by the end of the year.